Pretty princesses. I'm going to be really real with you today. A lot of you know that I struggle with an eating disorder. And then, you might look at me and go, well, she's overweight. How can she have an eating disorder? Well, an eating disorder isn't really what you look like. It's an obsession with food. It's an obsession with appearance. It's a fear of food. It's really at the bottom, it's a fear of lack of acceptance because of how you look in many ways. It can also be an expression of just trying to get control and in a world where you have no control. But for me, mine comes from decades. I mean, decades. And I know that doesn't go away immediately. It doesn't go away for a long time. But I want to share with you how I deal with it, because I went to the doctor and of course, I had to get on the scale, and I was dreading it. I've been sick for 8 weeks, and I'd been doing moderately well with my eating disorder. I had been working out, but not working out too much. I was not freaking out over food. I was not afraid of food. I wasn't consumed with food or weight or calories. I was doing okay, but then I got sick for 2 months, and I didn't work out, and I got lax in my eating. And so seeing that number on the scale just made my heart drop into my stomach. And when I left, I sat out in the parking lot and I just cried. I just cried from so much stress. And I thought, what am I feeling? Why am I crying? And it's this fear, my fear that's always an undercurrent, that I'm going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and fatter, and oh, my clothes don't fit, and I'm going to have to get a bigger size, which of course is a source of shame for me. And then on top of that, it's this fear, and I'm like, why? Why are you so afraid? And I have to listen to myself. And I go, why are you so afraid? And I go, because I'm getting fatter. But what's wrong with being fatter? No one will love me. No one will like me or want me. And I say, but that's not true. Your children love you. Your husband love you. Then I hear myself saying, no, everyone will be disgusted with you. I'll be disgusted with you, ashamed of you, embarrassed of you, just disgusted with you. And as I think back, I have dealt with so many parts of my healing and my trauma. But this one, it's the thorn in my flesh I just cannot get rid of. It's that belief that no man would ever want me. And it goes back to something my father said, one statement he made, and my father loved me. But that statement was, Pen, I just want you to know that guys like pretty girls, and I don't want you to be disappointed. And that, along with a quick comment once about how I looked like a football player from behind in my jacket, they've never left me. And I just can't pull that root out. And I've been praying and saying, God, how do I deal with this? Because, I was really smart, and I was really talented, and I was funny, and I was kind. But all of those things meant nothing because I wasn't pretty. I was overweight. And if anything ever happened to my husband, I really believe no man would ever want me, which is really kind of funny because I'm not afraid of being alone. I like being alone. I can do whatever I want. But it's just the fact that no one would ever want me. I have girlfriends, and then they talk about how these guys, really want them. And I think, I can't think back to a time when some man ever saw me and wanted me. And so I want to show you how I work on healing myself when I am like this. First of all, I listen to myself. I acknowledge that I am afraid of something and it's causing me to panic. And then I listen to myself and I say, I'm listening. Tell me how you're feeling. And I listen to the fears. And then I say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that he said that. Because you're beautiful. You are so wonderful. You don't have to feel that way. It was one man's opinion, but I know how much that hurts. And it's okay, because we're going to get through this. We know that God doesn't look on the outside. We know that God sees me completed as I'm going to look when I'm in heaven. I also know that the people who love me, who really care about me, they know me on the inside. They don't care what I look like on the outside. My husband even, although I know he would much, I'm sure, have a much more thin and beautiful wife. But my husband loves me. And so I just love on myself. And I say, it's okay. And I acknowledge the pain. I know this hurts. But it's okay. Because you're loved. And that was a lie. That was a lie from the pit of hell. And it's just because your parents were taught that beauty was the most important thing in life. But it's not. The most important things in life are your faith in the Lord. And loving Him with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Loving your neighbor. And loving yourself. And I'm going to help you and teach you that you can love yourself. You don't have to hate yourself. People aren't disgusted by you, even though your father appeared to be. So pretty princesses, I want you to love on yourself. I want you to listen to yourself. I want you to be kind to yourself. And love yourself. And remind yourself of the truth of how you are a pretty princess to God.